taught me, it's that every ship has a security failsafe.
Your family's Orion pirates?
Yep, syndicate and all.
Will Star Trek Lower Decks return for a 5th season? Season 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks was confirmed ahead of Season 4's premiere. Thus, 2024 is anticipated to be the show's typical late summer/early fall release window. There will be numerous fascinating plots and interesting moments on Orion in Season 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks, especially with the character Lieutenant Divana Tendi. In the next season, viewers may anticipate incredible cameos that include intricately planned surprises like personalized messages and goodies, with humorous episodes that draw inspiration from previous Star Trek episodes as well as novel and surprising features. The show's formula will shift once more in Season 5. In addition, the show will finally visit a location that its creator has always wanted to see. Mike McMahan, the creator and showrunner of Star Trek Lower Decks, gave some major spoilers for Season 5 of the show. The success of Star Trek Lower Decks shouldn't be undervalued, even while a lot of fans are focused on the impending 2nd season of Star Trek Prodigy on Netflix, and the approaching last season of Star Trek Discovery on Paramount+. The junior lieutenants of the USS Cerritos are some of the most adored characters in the current Star Trek on Paramount franchise, and following an outstanding 4th season. Tendi's departure from Lower Decks. Why? Tendi is not being written out of the program, which is to her advantage. He tells us that this is an effort to help her grow as a person, independent of whether or not she gets promoted and possibly outside of her membership in Starfleet altogether. Mike McMahan teased a lot about the amazing cameos and new format of Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5, which comes after the series ended on a cliffhanger with Noel Wells' character Lieutenant Divana Tendi returning to her home world of Orion as the mistress of the winter constellations. This was in an interview with Sean Ferrick of Track Culture. Is Tendi coming back? Following the conclusion of Season 4 of Lower Decks with Inverse, Mike McMahan promised viewers that Divana Tendi would return for Season 5 of Lower Decks. It's safe to assume that when the Rick and Morty style animated series set in the iconic fictitious universe of Star Trek was announced on Paramount+, some fans of the beloved show were skeptical. Despite all the odds, however, Lower Decks has risen through the ranks to become one of the most watched series in the expansive franchise, and its influence is now extending to live action through a ridiculous crossover with Strange New Worlds. Though creator Mike McMahan has cautioned fans against growing complacency about the show's safety in a competitive streaming world, the good news is that more adventures on the USS Cerritos are on the horizon. How many seasons are there going to be on the Lower Decks? August to October 2021 saw the release of the 2nd season on Paramount+. The same dates apply to the release of the 3rd and 4th season. August to October 2022 and September to November 2023 respectively. There is a 5th season in the works. Up until now, the release schedule of Star Trek Lower Decks has been quite stable, with new seasons usually debuting in August or September of each year. Because of this, we anticipate that Season 5 will debut in the late summer of 2024. However, given the aftermath of the Hollywood strikes, it's probable that the show will resume later than normal. Showrunner Mike McMahan of Star Trek Lower Decks has been open about the idea that if the animated series doesn't draw enough viewers, it might terminate after Season 5. Although the Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5 cast has not yet been officially announced, it is quite expected that Jack Quaid and Tawny Newsome will return to their iconic roles as Brad and Beckett Mariner, respectively. After a live-action crossover with Star Trek Strange New Worlds, the characters were made canonical. Noel Wells, Eugene Cordero, Dawn Lewis, Jerry O'Connell, Fred Tatasciore, and Gillian Vigman are also part of the cast for Star Trek Lower Decks. When is Season 5 of Lower Decks available to watch? Every year, fans can usually anticipate the release of a new season of Lower Decks in August or September. By late summer 2024, if this trend continues, the crew may make a return visit for more cosmic humor. Still, this date can be postponed due to industry-wide delays. With regard to Lower Decks, showrunner Mike McMahon has voiced concerns and emphasized the need for viewers to continue watching the program. McMahon exhorts viewers to watch and support the show as soon as it premieres in order to ensure its continuation, given that the animated prodigy is suffering its own difficulties and other Star Trek series are coming to an end. The 5th season of Lower Decks is approaching with both anticipation and some trepidation. The fans' active support appears to be a prerequisite for the show's survival. In McMahon's words, the fans' mission is clear: watch and advocate for this beloved animated track through the stars in order to keep the USS Cerritos on its voyage. Star Trek, what is it? Gene Roddenberry is the creator of the science fiction entertainment series Star Trek. The first television program to do so was Star Trek, which debuted in 1966 on NBC. The show is set in the future and chronicles the travels of the crew and the spaceship USS Enterprise as they protect the United Federation of Planets and explore the galaxy. Which particular Star Trek aesthetic appeals to you? Would you want a more standalone story that doesn't require you to see a series like 10 separate movies? You're going to enjoy this. Season 4 of Star Trek Lower Decks experimented with a season-long narrative, but it seems like a better idea to leave that one in the past. Lower Decks will be an episode theme once more in Season 5 of the show. Once more, the show will concentrate more on the events in each episode before moving on, and won't require viewers to watch an earlier episode in order to watch a later one. Season 5 of the program will drop some serialized features, according to showrunner Mike McMahon. Even though there will be some serialization from episode to episode, it's a good thing that it will be somewhat toned down, because Trek works best in an episodic style. Fans want stories to be able to concentrate on the present without having to go back 2 seasons to mention details from an episode. While the idea of a serialized structure was attractive when shows were episodic, consumers today prefer less continuity between episodes as a result of streaming giants treating their shows like mini movies. And that's where the storytelling in Star Trek excels. The authors are free to delve further into the possibilities of an episode, since they are not constrained by the aspects of previous ones. Compared to a serialized structure, where you have to figure out how to connect previous events and acts to one another, which restricts storytelling freedom, there is a greater room for creativity and jokes. Because of this, even though it's not as good as the majority of other Lower Deck episodes, you can still enjoy watching this one. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Express your valuable thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time.